What's going on YouTube? It's been a while since I uploaded a video on the Tesla, like the little vlog style, kind of like I did last time. When I first got it, that was kind of my first impressions that you guys seen in that first video. Here it's what, May, so I got the car in February. It's about 3.5, almost 4 months of owning the car now. So I had a few more thoughts that I wanted to, share with you guys, being like a Tesla owner, in the New Orleans area. I'm out here in City Park right now in an empty parking lot to film this video. But some things I need to say is, as with the prior video, these 20-inch rims are definitely a downside. They're very prone to flats and nails and screws. It's like they're magnets to them almost, which, being in New Orleans, that's not really good because, the streets here aren't, exactly the greatest. Not saying in other areas they're much better, but here it's like there's nails and screws almost everywhere. So it's like you roll over it due to the, weight of the car. It's so heavy that it goes straight through. And with these being 20s, there's no tread on the tire to absorb the nail or the screw, so it just punctures right through. Like, I'm sitting here looking at that thing like, oh, is that a nail? But I recently had another flat since the other video in this front left tire again. It was a little tiny baby screw, like that big, and it punctured right through the tire, but thankfully it was towards the middle, so I was able to put a plug without having to go to a tire repair shop. Now, obviously a plug isn't, a permanent fix on the tire, but it's been holding pressure for the past couple weeks. It seems to be holding fine. I don't know how that's going to do in winter once the rubber starts, getting cold and shrinking, and I don't know if it's going to lose air, but as of now, the plug's holding fine, and I'm not planning on getting that tire replaced because some new information I found out from our Tesla service center on Tropicana Street here in the New Orleans area is they no longer fix punctures in the tire. They don't plug them, they don't patch them, nothing. You pretty much have to do it yourself. All they'll do is swap the tire. But with these tires being the Pirelli P0s, these are like $420, almost $430 tires, and I can't afford to keep wasting money on swapping tires. So I made the decision now that anytime I get a flat, I'm just going to go ahead on and plug or patch the tire myself, which for me, I can't patch, but I can plug, and just do that route. Because, I mean, reality of it is these tires are only going to last about 12,000 miles or so with the tread life on them. So it's like you're not getting very many miles anyway. Sorry, I thought somebody was behind me. So it's like a plug is probably more than enough to hold air until you change your tires, which I plan to switch to these FALKEN tires. I'll put a link in the description below of what I plan to switch to, because they're about $140 a tire, which is way cheaper than the $400 $430 Pirellis. And they're rated really good. They're supposedly almost as good as the Pirellis. Now, they're not really performance tires, they're all seasons, but to be honest with you, I don't really race with the car. I mean, a little bit of fun with a Corvette or a Camaro or something on the street, but other than that, I'm not really, racing with the vehicle, so I don't need that high performance of a tire. But I'll be switching to those FALKENs whenever it's time to get my tires changed. And I'm right at about 5,500 miles now on the car, so it's getting around time for a tire rotation. So I'll be bringing that to the Tesla service center and having them rotate the tires once I get to about 6,500 miles, as what they recommend for tire rotation on the Tesla. And then once it gets around that 12,500 mile mark, I'll probably switch the tires out with the FALKENs. Again, I'll put a link in the descriptions of the tires I plan to switch to. The rims, I could switch rims, but it's real expensive for rims, so I'm not really looking to spend $2-3 grand right now on rims. So I'll keep the 20-inch Uber turbines and just stay with 20-inch tires. Just go with a cheaper variant. But other news, I did have a fender bender in the Tesla, and here's my service panel. You could see. Where is it at? The miles somewhere on here, software, yeah. 5480. So I've put 5,480 miles on the car. since that video in February, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, I go for joyrides a lot, and with, you know, not consuming gas and having it, you know, all electric like this, and having a home charger, a level 2 home charger installed, it's real easy for me to be able to go on joyrides without, you know, really spending any money, because I just charge at home, you know. Um, and surprisingly, the electric bill is not even that bad. But I'm getting off topic here. So I did have a fender bender, which I'll show you guys here. This was completely on me. I was at a yield. A car ran a red light at the intersection, and it caused the white van in front of me to stop abruptly. And I was looking to the left at the car running the red light, and I thought this van already went when they didn't go. And it's not, you know, their fault. It's my fault for rear-ending them, because that's how laws in Louisiana work. But it's really the car that ran that red light that caused all of this to happen. So I'm gonna try and get in here where you guys can see the screen a little bit. But see this white van? I thought they went. I looked to the left here thinking that they went, the white van went, and I see this car running the red light. So I thought the car running the red light was gonna hit me, and I'm not paying attention. Boom, right there in the back. It was a really slow speed collision, so thankfully neither of us had any damage on our vehicle. We were able to safely pull over to the side of the road and assess the situation. But there was no insurance claims. They did not claim anything on the insurance on me, and they said all was good. And there was we did not call the police. There was no police report filed. None of that was necessary. Both of us just agreed that since we had no damage, it was no big deal, and we were really just both freaking out on the car that, you know, ran the red light at the intersection, rather than the actual accident that happened. So all was well. My fault, but all turned out well with that. Now you're probably thinking, did I have any damage? Which is what I was thinking when it first happened. I didn't even look at my car. I went straight to their van just to check on them and make sure they were okay. But as you can see, there's no damage to the front of the car, which is crazy. That really kind of shows the durability of Tesla. Now again, as you guys could see from the video, the speed was really low, so it was not a high speed collision, and the automatic braking did attempt to stop the car. I was kind of disappointed that the car didn't completely come to a halt with the automatic emergency braking, which I did ask the service center about that, and they said there's like a certain speed in which it takes to activate, and it does not work to avoid a collision. It only works to mitigate it, which, I mean, at that kind of speed, I would hope that they would make it where it completely avoids the collision by just locking the wheels to stop the vehicle. But it didn't do that. It did activate. Again, I did hear it and I saw it activate. It just didn't stop the car. But again, no police report, no insurance claim, no damage on them or me. Everybody was okay, so my fault. Yeah, no damage. Now, what I did do to stop this from happening in the future is I had my forward collision warning on late, because it kept going off when it really shouldn't have been going off. But to fix this from happening again, I went to my settings and I put the forward collision warning now to early, and I turned on all the safety features, which those were already all on, but I had this on late instead of early. So now I keep it on early just to alert me a little sooner, because I think if it had been on early, this collision wouldn't have happened, because I would have got alerted just a little bit sooner, which would have allowed me to hit the brakes. Which that is a good thing with the performance model, is with having these giant calipers on the front and the back of the car. The car stops really, really well. Like, just the regenerative braking with having dual motors on the car already stops the car really well, but then having those giant calipers also helps, because you tap that pedal, you're stopping. But as you guys know, I do have the dual motor performance model of the Model 3, which is great. But yeah, what else? Tires, fender bender since the last video. I ordered some console inserts for the inside for in here, because it goes down so deep, and then I got another holder for in there. which that's great. Should help me organize things a little bit. But other than that, I don't really have any other complaints. I got this warning Sentry mode activated stickers, which I can probably put a link to those in the description too if anybody has a Tesla and they want to put the Sentry mode activated stickers on their car, because most cars have like an alarm sticker saying it has some kind of like, alarm system built in, but Teslas don't have that. So I went ahead and added it, just because, again, with this being New Orleans and the crime rate that it is, I figure can't hurt to have stickers saying like, hey, don't do anything stupid, like you're being recorded. So I went ahead and got those. But other than that, I really don't have any complaints with the Tesla. I mean, I haven't had maintenance. Like, I would have had it done like probably an oil change or 2 oil changes by now with 54, 100 miles like I did in the Taurus that I had. But you don't have any of that with Tesla, so you just charge, get in, and go. And on the daily, I usually charge to about 80 or 90%. If I know I have a day off from work and I'm going to be driving a little bit more. What is that? Okay, it looks like some kind of, it didn't go through the paint, but it looks like some kind of rock chip or something hit the paint there. That's a problem with these. But as I was saying, I usually charge to 80 or 90%. If I'm having a day off from work, I know I'm going somewhere, I'll go to about 90. I hardly ever go to 100, even if I'm going on a road trip somewhere, just because you're really not supposed to go to 100. And I know if you do, you're supposed to like leave right away, and I can never time that perfectly. So I usually go to 90 for trips, and daily I'll keep it at around 80. And I just keep around 80 because 70 is really not enough range, because by the end of the day, with me, I'm around 50% battery. I don't like being that low, because if there's ever, an emergency that happens, or I just, say I want to go somewhere after work at night or something, if I didn't charge to 80% that day, and I only say charge to 60%, well, now I've only got like 50% battery to drive where I'm going, and I'd have to stop at a supercharger rather than wait at, my home for the car to charge that way. But speaking of the home charger, after use with that, if you're like 20% battery and you're charging from 20%, say to 90%, it does take about 4 hours. And that's even, with it being on a 60 amp breaker, because I had them go with the largest size breaker for the charger. Because why not, might as well do the best than have to go back and have them reinstall a breaker for more power. But I went with the 60 amp breaker, so it takes about 4 hours from like 20%. And supercharger times, it depends. If I'm going to 90, it could take like 40 minutes or 35 minutes, depending if I'm at like 20% battery or not. But yeah, other than that, no complaints really. I guess I could mention, if you get one of these, like, be prepared that the front of the car, with it being flat like this and not really having a grill, you're going to get rock chips and you're going to get bugs all across it every time you go on a road trip. I guarantee you that's going to happen. And same with your mirrors, like you're going to have bugs all in the front of the car and the mirrors, which usually on, like a gas vehicle, it would just go into the radiator and then they'll just get burned up, or you can wash them out the radiator. But with this, they just smash flat straight on the front of the car, that's fun. You'll see like a whole wall of bugs after you get done a trip. But really not that hard to clean off. I did invest, I don't know if that's investing, yeah, I guess it is an investment, in a pressure washer, so I no longer have to go on like to like car wash places and put quarters and dollars to run the pressure washer there, or like going to another wash place. Like, I no longer have to go to those locations and spend money on car washes, because I have a pressure washer now. So I just put some soap in it, use the foam cannon, soap it down, and then pressure wash all the bugs and everything else off, which is great. Saves a lot of money on car washes. It does take a little time to get out there and wash it. Thankfully, it's not a very big car, so you can wash it within like 2 hours or so, but you still got to dry it, and it does take a little time, but it saves a good bit of money. I've been trying to narrow down how often I'm washing the car, because this is a question I get a lot, is like, you know, how long do you need to wash your Tesla? Like, hey, I wash mines once a week. I wash mines once a month. Some people wash it like only a few times a year. For me, I've been doing it probably about once every 2 weeks because it just gets dirty quick. Some common areas that get dirty on the car, which I'll cheat sometimes and only wash these areas because the middle of the car and the top really don't get dirty. The front, it gets very dirty with bugs and road debris and all kind of other stuff. And surprisingly, I don't know how this is, but the back of the car, you'll always find like dirt on the back of the car. Like all here, there'll be mud or dirt or like dust or something, and you'll feel this button, and this button under here for your trunk will always be dirty. And I always wonder how it gets there because there's nothing splashing up on the back of the car, so I'm thinking maybe it's the air coming around the car curving in and it just gets dusty. I don't really know though, but that's your most common areas that I've had that get dirty, is the back and the front. And again, sometimes a cheat, I'll just wash those, dry them off, and then I won't touch the rest of the car, just to save time if I'm in a hurry. But I've been doing it probably once every 2 weeks for the car wash, but I'm going to try and narrow that down to probably, you know, once a month, like have a car wash day once a month to clean the car up. And if it gets dirty in between then, I'm just going to wait till the time when I wash the car, just to save soap and water and time that I'm spending out on the car, because once a month really is probably enough. But other than that, if I think of anything else on the Tesla, I'll put another video up. I just wanted to have a little recap of the car and how I've been liking it, and, you know, and everything else. Which, honestly, favorite things about it are still the no gas, no maintenance, and the ability to, like, you know, race somebody like on the street if I want to. I just have fun with that. Like if they're consenting to race, if they're in a Corvette or Camaro or Mustang or whatever high performance vehicle it is, a lot of the time you'll get them to have fun with you for a moment, like just racing up to the speed limit or, you know, something like that, which is a lot of fun for me and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's the 2023 Tesla Model 3 Performance in red. Not worried if you guys see the license plate on the back, because this is public anyway. Anybody that sees my car will have the license plate, so it's not like a big deal if y'all have it. You can't do anything with it. There's no information tied to it, so it is what it is. But yeah, yeah. Go ahead and end the video here. I might put another one up with the Discord information, but I'll talk about that in another video.